Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I've come to a conclusion. It is unacceptable, to quote Eddie, it is unacceptable to lose to Missouri anymore at anything. I would just like to declare this today. No longer can you lose to Missouri in football. It is not okay. Like, somebody's got to stand up and say, you have to say that is not allowed anymore.
Bo just had an epiphany now.
An epiphany, yes. It can't happen anymore.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show.
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Oh, what a week it is going to be. It is going to be a great week. The coaching search is hitting its zenith. We've got a holiday coming up on Thursday. This is where it's going to happen. And yet, this morning, our first group text. By the way, Bo's gone this week. He's on a Cancun holiday. And he is, I don't know what he's doing, but I'll bet he's not awake. And so he's not going to be here. Yeah. So
good for him.
Our first group text this morning. Actually, Bart sent one last night. Bo's number excluded, so he doesn't get all the pings this morning.
That's right.
That was very thoughtful.
That's
I've noticed mornings when I'm not here. Like if it's been a late night on a trip, you guys exclude me from the group text, and I appreciate that. So Bo's out. But this morning, it didn't have anything to do with the content of the show. The first thing we do is there coffee in the building? Because Friday there was a shortage. Our delivery. What is it?
It's an Amazon delivery.
Yeah.
Green Mountain.
Green Mountain,
Not
right.
a sponsor.
Right. And so it had not arrived by late last week. And we consume a lot of coffee around here. So we had to make sure all that was settled. I brought some. Bart's got a hidden stash. Edward already stopped at Maverick.
That's right.
Your adventure began early this morning.
That's where my adventure began.
What was going on in there this morning?
Well, there's one ginormous mega truck parked out front.
Yeah.
The guy just
The delivery guy?
No, like your Silverado. Like a truck, like pickup truck.
Big 2500.
Yeah,
dually,
big lights.
Dually.
Big lights underneath.
Yeah, I love those.
And otherwise, there was nobody else in the parking lot.
Yeah, you and him.
I stopped, got gas, and as soon as I started walking towards the door, that's when he decided to start reversing.
Yeah.
Almost hit me.
Well, that's the adventure. It's where it begins.
That's right. And then I went inside and got coffee.
well, that's great.
The lady was very nice at the counter.
Well, it sounds like it's been.
So it was a good time.
Sounds like it's a big morning. As far as Saturday goes, pretty much same old, same old.
Yeah, I felt like in the second half out there it was a old-fashioned ass kicking. They got after us. You know, we couldn't stop them. I was worried going into the game that it might be a game where Arch, they try to get him going and get him confidence and really air it out, and they did. In the first half we did a pretty good job of keeping up offensively, and then in the second half those two turnovers just kill you. But I did like the way KJ came in and played and competed and showed toughness, and I thought he gave us a spark when he came in.
KJ made it interesting in the second half, at least not in terms of who's going to win the game, but in terms of what am I watching here. Yeah, what am I watching here? And I know people are going to be talking about that today. I got to tell you, boys, every time Arch went back to throw, it was kind of like watching Todd Day shoot a three back in the day. I thought it was going in. Every time he shot, and I thought every time Arch went back to throw, they were fixing to score. And that's pretty much the way it happened. It was it was good for a half. It really was good for a half. They competed for a half. And now we got Missouri this week, and who knows what's going to happen. I mean, I have no idea what's
Literally no clue.
Games like this are so hard to predict what's going to happen. There are guys that are going to play their last football game. They're going to walk out on the field before the game. There's not going to be very many people there. They're in the midst of a 9-game losing streak, and it's going to be their last game as a college football player. I mean, think about that for a minute. What's going to be going through their heads as they stand there at that tunnel, getting ready to hear their name called, walking out there on the field? Probably not exactly the way they had it planned. But, I got news for you. For a lot of these guys, life's not going to go exactly like you had planned. and there are going to be a lot of twists and turns along the way. But I feel for those guys because there has been a lot of effort put in, despite the fact it may not necessarily show. And I'm not talking about the guys, and look, we've got them, every team's got them. I'm not really talking about the guys that fly in for a year and take the money and, move on with the rest of their lives. I'm not really talking about those guys, even though I'm not minimizing what they've done. Just because they haven't done it in front of us doesn't mean they haven't done it. But it is harder not to have a bit more feel for the guys that have been here, like a Cam Ball, for example, who's been here for a while, and you know what he's put into it. But at any rate, they'll go at it Saturday at 2:30.
Missouri a 2.5-point favorite.
Is that all?
Very short favorite.
Now Missouri got beat by Oklahoma. Can we all just admit we were wrong about Oklahoma? It's hard to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, but can
I
we all just admit it?
I was thinking about that on Saturday.
I really thought that they would struggle more than they have, and I give them credit. Mateer's not great. In fact, without that great defense, Mateer's just good enough to get you beat. But with that great defense, they're good enough offensively to win games. They were not great offensively against Missouri. Missouri's good defensively. But Oklahoma, there's nothing to write home about there in terms of their offense. But they play winning football. They played winning football on Saturday, and give them credit. Venables was a guy that a lot of people thought was toast when all this thing started. But here he is, alive and kicking. All right, can we get to our stuff? Can we do that now?
Yeah, sure.
Can we do that now? It sounds like we're real close, doesn't it? How many times have we said that?
Oh,
we mean it this time. They're very, very close.
I think everybody's just ready for it to be over.
Well, they are, and here's the thing.
It's been a long deal.
It has been a long season. It's been a long coaching search. And now there were all kinds of internet rumors, all kinds of stuff floating about yesterday that a choice had been made. There were tweets that indicated that the call has been made. Upon further review, I think it's accurate to say that we are in the final hours in terms of who the new coach is going to be. I don't know that we're in the final hours in terms of us finding out. We may be. Everybody may know. Here's the one thing that I will say, and we saw this a little bit yesterday. The information that you get most of the time when it's imminent does not come from the hirer, comes from the hiree, comes from the place where the guy's going to leave and come to you. That's where the information begins to trickle out. There were a lot of signs pointing, a lot of information beginning to trickle out yesterday. Signs, that maybe it might be Eric Morris. That was a name that I got a bunch of texts about that yesterday afternoon. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know that the one thing that I cannot wrap my head around is that, a guy like Morris, for example, if they win this week, they're in the playoff. I don't know, and this is where it comes in on the, we may not know part. It's just difficult for me to wrap my head around how all this is going to go down with a game left on Saturday, and at least for some of these guys, games or a game at least after that. Pete Thamel had his report Saturday on game day. What was it? Eric Morris, Ryan Silverfield,
Alex Golesh,
and Kane Womack were the four names. Kane Womack, for those who don't remember, was a walk-on here. His dad, Dave, was Houston's defensive coordinator. Kane's been the head coach at South Alabama in Mobile, left that job to become the DC at Alabama. So that's and he's an up-and-comer, and that's how his name's become involved in all of this. But it does sound like we're getting really close. We're getting really, really close. But again, I'm trying to wrap my head around how all this happens in terms of announcements, coaches. Do we know before the Razorbacks play Saturday? Is it something we find out after the ball game officially? How does all this play out? And you have to factor in there is a holiday going on this week. And the athletic director is right now in Grapevine, Texas, I guess, for the college football show, which will air tomorrow night. So there's a lot of moving parts. And we got to decide who the starting quarterback is going to be Saturday.
And there's a basketball game against Duke.
And there's a basketball game against Duke on Thursday night. Hogs are going to leave tomorrow, and then they'll play Thursday night. There's a lot going on for a holiday weekend. So what do you think? You think Taylon Green starts Saturday? You think KJ starts Saturday?
Man, I think you first of all you have to see what Taylon's health is, right? You've got to see if he's okay to play, if he's going to be good to go. If he's not, obviously it's KJ.
I think he will be.
But I think you let him fight it out in practice this week. My gut says it'll be Taylon if he's healthy and ready to go.
How can you not start Taylon Green? How can you not start Taylon Green? I mean, here's a guy
on senior day.
It's senior day.
Yeah.
He's come in. This is a guy that, I mean, in terms of total offense, he's going to be top 5 if he has any kind of ball game on Saturday. I think he's going to end up in the top 5. He's going to hold some records before it's all said and done. How do you not start him?
I think you have.
I think you have to start him. Look, there's no guarantee that anybody on that sideline Saturday is going to be around next year. Some of them will be. Some of them won't. A lot of them won't. My point is that in a normal cycle, like back in the old days, you might be saying, well, KJ's your quarterback of the future. People were saying it a month ago. You got to play him. You got to play. This is not normal. You know, I'd like to think he comes back next year. I don't know. I have no idea. Here's the thing that I think we all have to understand. I was thinking about this yesterday. The number of lives that are going to change over the next 7 to 10 to 14 days. Now, our lives won't change. At least mine won't. I don't think yours will. I doubt if very many people listening to this show, their lives will change as a result of what's about to transpire. But for a whole bunch of folks who are involved in it up close and personal, their lives are going to change in a major way. And that brings me to KJ Jackson. Do you work a guy? Do you play a guy? Do you put a guy out there with the idea that he's going to be our guy next year? Or are you putting a guy out there so he can show off and everybody else can decide how much money they want to throw at him? I don't know the answer to that question. And is the new coach, is this a package deal with a quarterback? I got to believe it is. I've got to believe it is. In fact, if it doesn't work out that way, I'll be shocked. I would expect the new coach to bring a quarterback with him. That's how it works now. So how does that factor into all of this? And how does that ultimately factor into the game on Saturday? And when you've lost 9 in a row, in the grand scheme of things, what happens Saturday may or may not have anything to do with anything that happens moving forward. It just, there's a lot going on, but we are very, very much still in a state of flux in terms of how this is going to affect us moving forward. All right, let's get your thoughts as we begin the new week. 877-377-6963. Where do we go from here? Clay's going to join us in less than an hour. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
You really make me want to call you a moron. I'm not going to do that, but I want to.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Distribution Solutions Incorporated began providing superior customer service back in 1997 based out of Harrison, Arkansas, and they're supporting our local communities today and always looking for professional OTR drivers. DSI knows drivers by name. They're about their people, and when you work with DSI, it feels more like a family than a job, and they know home time matters. If you're a driver, check out their website, drivedsi.com. All the benefits, all the vacation time, and that home time that matters.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites, like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this. Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I think I have 1,100 subscriptions. I'm pretty sure. It is so ridiculous.
That guy subscribed to Hulu twice.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Bart goes 4-1 on the locks. I'm assuming, given the fact that you have ripped off your hoodie and exposed your New Mexico Lobos T-shirt, that they were part of the package. Were they part of the locks?
They were.
Okay.
I was just a little warm.
I got you. No, I understand. I like it a little warmer in here than Bo does. Yeah, me and Edward got control of the thermostat
I
today.
turned the heat on as soon as I got
That's
here.
exactly right.
It's 49 degrees outside. The air was on all weekend.
My nose is cold in here. I mean, it is every day when I come in here, my nose is cold. And it's nice today.
The Lobos were part of the locks.
Yeah.
They did cover the spread. They are 8-3 on the season. They play San Diego State this weekend. If they win that game, they'll play in the Mountain West Championship
Who's their coach?
game.
Who's their coach?
New Mexico?
Yeah.
Jason Eck. He's in his first year.
Is he available?
Well, I think you could probably get him from
Hire
Albuquerque.
that guy.
He's a good coach. Had some success at Idaho.
Congratulations, though. I'm sure the money was flowing. I mean, big party last night.
It was a good weekend for the Locks.
Good,
yeah.
Good. Bruce is in Mulberry. Bruce, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning, Bo.
Well, Bo's not here, but we're glad you are.
Oh, same thing. Okay.
Yeah, same thing. Same
Forgot
thing.
about that.
Yeah, that's all right. Go ahead, Bruce. I'm just giving you all the time.
Well, I'm going to make a suggestion. and let y'all talk about it. You're going to disagree with me, but I'm on wife number 3. I'm used to being disagreed with.
I was going to say, that doesn't faze you.
As bad as I hate to say it, I would like to see all the Razorback fans just totally boycott this game this weekend, and I'll let y'all talk about it.
Well, why would we boycott it? That's a drive-by is what that. I mean, Bruce, come on.
Bad,
I mean, I almost said a phrase I can't really say on the radio, but toughen up, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
If you've got a point to make, back it up a little bit. I don't know why you would boycott. I mean, that's
silly. That is silly.
That'll show them.
Yeah.
Brent's on the line in Searcy. Brent, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Brent, how are you? We were worried about you, man.
Chuck, I'm great. How about you?
Well, I'm fine.
I want to wish you and Edward and all the crew there at the compound. I wish y'all all a happy Thanksgiving, and wish you safe travels to Chicago and back, Chuck.
Well, thank you, Brent. Thank you.
Thank you, Brent.
What about you, Bart?
Yes, also thank you, Brent.
Yeah.
Did
you wish Bart a happy Thanksgiving, Brent?
Yeah. Hey, Bart, let's talk about the Fighting Lobos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. Coach Jason Eck, Idaho, Wisconsin, was a football player at Wisconsin for Barry Alvarez, so he knows toughness. And, hey, Bart, on their defensive only one player is playing on New Mexico's defense that played there last year.
That's right. Has the most transfers in of any program in the country.
Yeah, right there with Memphis. I mean, Memphis had 78, so I'm sure the Lobos were right there past them. So, but that's incredible what that coach has done there. I'm just going to tell you.
Tell us. It is incredible.
I wish we were looking at a 9-3 right now.
What do you think's going to happen, Brent? What do you want to happen? Where do we go from here?
Where do I go? I don't know where to go, Chuck. We can't go anywhere but up, but it seems like we've had this conversation too many times in the last 10 years.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
I want this football program to get back to its once proud self. I mean, we've lost way too many games this year. We've found new ways to lose games, but I don't think that it's from a lack of effort, but I think it comes from Chuck, don't hang up on me when I say this.
I'm not.
It comes from a lack of leadership from our athletic director. He has lost the fan base, and there's no way he can recover it. None.
What's happened there in your mind, Brent? Well, I Hunter's got one of these jobs where, I mean, you're going to get hammered, and when things aren't going well, ultimately you're going to get blamed. But what's he done that just makes you feel like he's the worst guy out there? Because you're not the only one that I hear saying that, but I'm at a loss to figure out exactly why people think that.
Okay. You want me to break it down for you?
Break
Chuck?
it down. Break it down.
In simple Clarksville, I'm going to break it down for you.
All right.
All right. He changed the seatings for the basketball games. Put you and Z up in the seats where you're right in front of me, where my handicap seats are.
I'm not mad about that, so you shouldn't be either.
Well, if you're not, I'm mad about how he spoke to the people of the Little Rock Touchdown Club when he came to speak. I'm mad about that. Every year he comes and he says, "We don't have money. Give us money. Give us money. Hunter, give us something. Give us something. You're remodeling a $1 million townhouse in downtown Fayetteville. Give us something. We spend our hard-earned money to hear you moan and complain about how we don't have enough money to compete. It's your job to go out and collect money. Don't wait on the $23 million from the SEC. Go do your job. Go raise money. And that is my total gripe with him. He has no clue. He chases officials off the field. He has no clue, Chuck. He's got to go. The only reason he's still here is because he's head of the football committee. Now, come on. Come on, Board of Trustees. Make something happen. Do what you got to do and get rid of him. It doesn't matter.
Well, all right. I let me say something about that, Brent. And again, an athletic director, on one hand, we say, well, all he talks about is money. And then on the other hand, we say, but it's his job to go out and raise the money. So how's he going to go out and raise the money if he's not talking about it all the time?
Chuck, how long's he been here? He hasn't raised a dime.
Well, you don't know that. He has raised a dime, too.
Chuck, I don't want to argue with you because I like you.
I like you, too.
I like you. I respect you. But we have got to make a change with our athletic director. We've got to give our new head coach a fighting chance to bring this program back. And I don't know. If you were coming in as a head coach, would you trust the athletic director that talked to your people at the Little Rock Touchdown Club and said we can't compete? Would you want to work for him, Chuck?
Well, what I would want to know is, are the problems financially that you were talking about that day, are those being addressed? Have they been addressed? Where are we now in terms of that? All he did at the Little Rock Touchdown Club was tell people the truth. Now, he didn't say it in a way that made it comfortable, but all he said in Little Rock was the truth.
Can I tell you something, Chuck? The people of Arkansas knew that. People knew that we weren't ready to compete for a national championship, but he didn't have to say it.
Okay. I hear you.
We know that.
I hear you. All right, I'm going to move on from this.
We know that.
I appreciate your call, Brent. Thank you. Look, what he's saying is not something novel. I mean, and there were a lot of people, as he was saying, and I know that were agreeing with what he was saying. It's hard when you lose for a coach, for any public figure. When you lose the majority of the public, it's hard to get it back. I don't know that he has. He's certainly in a job where people are going to agree strongly. They're going to disagree strongly. I think that as it pertains to the football coach, I think part of the mood right now in terms of some, I think is heightened, exacerbated, whatever word you want to use, by the fact that there's not this future Hall of Fame football coach out there that's beating down the doors to come be our guy. And I'm not saying this is the sole reason, but I do believe there are people who thought, and they think this every time, if we'll just fire the guy, if we'll just fire this lousy coach, then so-and-so is going to want to come. So-and-so is going to want to come. Well, we can hire this guy. Why would he go there over here? Why would he not want to come be our coach? And then the days pass, and the days turn into weeks. And in this case, the weeks turn into months. And we realize that it's not going to be that way. And we're pissed, and we're mad. Because all of a sudden, this idea that we had about what's going to happen, well, it's not going to work out that way. That guy's got to get fired. Somebody's got to go. I agree that athletic administrations, and I'm speaking generally, I don't think they understand how tired the public gets of being asked for money. I don't think they understand that. It's their job to raise money. They wake up every morning trying to figure out new ways to raise money. That's their job. I'm not knocking them. That's what they do. But the public is weary. And fans are a lot more weary of that than I think college administrators realize. They've just been beaten to death. Even the rich folks, poor folks, everybody in between. They've just been beaten to death financially when it comes to college sports. You're taking every entertainment dollar they have. You're already asking for them to sacrifice their summer vacation so they can come watch you play. And a lot of them do it. So there does have to be more sensitivity, I think, on the parts of administrations there. I think they too cavalierly ask for money. I do think that. And I've thought that for a while. And fans are tired of it. But that is the reality of the monster we've created. And I just don't know how you get away from it. So I can't fault a guy for doing it, even though I find it as distasteful as you do. 877-377-6963. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. 632. Good morning.
Oh, no, I don't want Lane Kiffin at LSU. I want weird stuff going on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up. And don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection or visit hoggutters.com. When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
Chuck has thoughts. I want to have some coffee and let you guys roll for a while. This is going to be good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
What does the future look like? What does this week look like? And can you get yourself out of bed and just get rolling this morning with a smile on your face? Can you stare adversity in the eye?
Boy, you're asking a lot over there, man. I mean, with every question you're posing, I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm going to assume you saw the Cowboys come from behind and beat the Eagles yesterday.
What a great game.
What a great comeback by America's team. I felt like America was back. When the game was over, it's like America's back.
Okay.
You know, the Eagles
right.
squander that 21-point lead and
Wow.
the Cowboys win.
I'm always happy to
What a
watch
Sunday
the
for
Eagles
Chuck.
lose.
Well, yeah, it was a good somebody said something about the Chiefs came back and won, too. I didn't really pay attention to that, but Edward informed me of that this morning when we walked in. Kenny is on the line in Memphis. Kenny, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Morning, Chuck. Morning, Bo. Coming to y'all from across the mighty Mississippi. How y'all doing this morning?
Never better, Kenny, now that you're here.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's the way to get my day started.
I hear you.
Making my day, Chuck.
I hear you.
No, but, you know, for real, though, man, I've been listening to Chuck and everybody on the radio for a long time. My first ever Razorback game at 6 years old was watching 2000 Cotton Bowl.
Yeah?
So
That's a good one.
I've had that hog give me ever since then. But, you know, I wanted to call and talk to y'all this morning about this season. And, you know, I really do think that our program is at a pivotal moment right now for the future of Razorback football. I will say this, guys. We're going to beat Missouri Saturday. Petrino is going to go out with that Battle Line trophy. I would hate for us to have to hire somebody else after that. Missouri is only coming in as a 3-point favorite, and we're going to beat them Saturday. The thing that scares me the most about all this is that if we get this hire wrong, you know, we're going to enter an era of maybe even a decade of nothing but woes for Razorback football. We don't recruit Arkansas kids enough like we used to back in the day. Those guys are the foundation of our program. When Arkansas and Arkansas State met up in Little Rock, there were a total of 28 Arkansas kids that had scholarships combined for both teams out of 205 total scholarships. So this new era of football is really hurting us, and we got to get back to good. And by getting Arkansas kids on the team, when you got 2 or 3 offensive linemen from the great state of Arkansas, they're going to fight a little bit harder on 4th and 1 against LSU. You know, so I really do think that, you know, with what Petrino is doing right now, man, he's fighting his ass off. You know, he's showing that he wants this job. And it's only fair to give him a full offseason. Now, Chuck and Bo, I'm sure y'all love the game of football. Y'all may have even played the game of football. And y'all know just as well as I do on this great Monday morning that winning games, having a successful football season does not start. It doesn't start.
What happened?
Start game 1.
Yeah.
Winning games starts in winter workout. It starts in spring training. It starts over the summer. Then it goes into fall camp and into game 1. I don't know what happened with the previous staff, but I do know that Petrino will have these guys ready after a full off season, and he will beat it into their brains that we can go win these games, we can be in the college football playoff, and Arkansas can be right back to where it needs to be. Now, I'm not against some of these other hires. You know, Kane Womack, he played at Arkansas. He's not from Arkansas. He only played a year or 2 before Houston Nutt got fired and he went to Southern Miss. Okay? So we don't know if he's up to snuff in terms of having that Razorback in him or not.
He does.
But we know
He has
Petrino's
that
got
in
it.
him. I do know Kane's got Razorback in him. Now, I haven't kept up with his coaching career closely.
And his dad is Dave. His dad coached at Arkansas.
That's right.
Too, so.
That's right. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be against him if he were to retain Bobby as OC, as offensive coordinator, because Bobby has proven to us he's still got it. And K.J. Jackson looked really good Saturday when he came in. And you give K.J. Jackson a full offseason as the number 1 quarterback and having him prepared through fall camp to take the reins and come into this 9-game schedule next year, guys, looking at the slate of these coaches for bringing in, you guys really think they're going to be able to even get 500 at 9 games in the SEC? You know, you're looking at 4 and 5 in the SEC probably if you get Silverfield. If you get, you know, even John Sumrall, which I have a lot of respect for John Sumrall and what he's done. But 9 SEC games, fellas, that's tough. And you got to get somebody in here that's that can not only recruit, but that can get you on a level playing field in terms of X's and O's and being able to out-coach some of the best coaches in the country in the SEC. That's all I have to say for y'all. I really respect what y'all are doing. I listen to the pregame every Saturday. I always have since I was a little boy. Go Hogs, and hopefully we can either retain Petrino or bring in Walmack and have Petrino as the OC, because I feel like if we just got rid of Petrino now, man, it would be just another curse on our program. So, I really respect what he's done, by coming back, taking over this tough job of being interim and trying to win some games. You can see the defense has improved. It wasn't until Taylor had that ridiculous turnover on Saturday, the defense gave up after that. Yeah. I played football and I've watched football all my life, and I know what it looks like when a team starts to give up. Because, hey, I lived through Chad Morris. So, hey, I appreciate it, guys.
All right, Kenny.
And,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your call. I wondered, and I made a note, 6:43 is when it happened, when we would have our first call today, saying, well, what about hiring that Kane Womack guy and keeping Bobby as offensive coordinator? I knew it'd come up. And, that's going to be a popular refrain maybe for 24 hours or so. And what if they beat Missouri? And as Kenny's talking right there, I'm reminded that as much as many have turned the page, it's not going to be Bobby Petrino. We're going to have a new coach. There is still, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's a small camp. It's a sizable camp. I don't know if it's the majority anymore, but it is a sizable camp. That says, when I go through all these guys we're talking about, the 4 guys Pete Thamel talked about on College Game Day Saturday, when I go through that list, none of them's better than Bobby. I know a lot of people say that. They've said it to me. They've said it to others. So, I don't know. It's something tells me, even when the trigger's pulled and the hire is made, there's still going to be debate. I can assure you of that. All right, one thing I do know, if you're buying or selling a home, there is no debate. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, they ought to be your partners. I recommend them because they've worked for me, and by worked, I mean it's worked out well for me. The truth of the matter is they've told me what to do, and I've done it, and it's always worked out well. Bo's experienced that. His family's experienced that. When you partner with Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, whether it's buying a home, whether it's selling a home, whether it's both, you're going to be with someone that understands the market, understands location. If you're selling, they've got a long list of buyers. If you're looking for a home, they know exactly where that dream home is, and they'll help you get into it. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978. Washington and Benton counties, Fort Smith, Branson, and you can log on to WeichertGriffin.com.
Chuck has a little bit of a bad habit of getting on Facebook and buying things.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicher Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicher Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Friends, I'd like to introduce you to Woodhouse Spa Rogers. It's the kind of place you go to relax. Get a tea, signature mimosa, glass of champagne. You get treated like a king or a queen for a while. Woodhouse Spa Rogers is a customizable spa experience with every service tailored to your needs. And for the holidays, what a great gift idea. Woodhouse Spa gift cards are as meaningful as they are effortless. The gift of truly relaxing. Woodhouse Spa Rogers in Pinnacle Hills or online at rogers.woodhousespas.com. This is not interesting. It's just interesting to us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When's the last time you wrote someone a handwritten note?
It's been a while, I have to admit. I mean, I've sent a lot of what I consider
Birthday
to be
cards.
meaningful texts, but I have.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
What are the people saying, Bart?
Well, they're saying a couple of different things, Chuck. There is some thoughts about Eric Morris, the North Texas head coach, who's rumored to be in the mix for the Razorback job. And people seem to like what he does offensively.
What's
being
the craziest
an air raid guy.
message? What's the craziest message this morning?
Well, it's probably somewhere along the lines of what we had with the caller in the last segment, that Arkansas's next head coach will be Kane Womack, and he'll retain Bobby Petrino as the offensive coordinator. Or that he'll be somehow forced to retain Petrino, which is not really
we're talking.
Which is not really how these things work at all.
Yeah. JR's in Shady Grove. JR, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Hey, JR.
Do you guys get paid extra money to come in on Monday mornings?
No, we don't even get paid. A lot of people don't know that, but we don't even get paid.
Oh, man, just maybe a little free food on the side?
Yeah,
maybe?
breakfast every once in a while.
I got you. Sometimes a clean slate is a good thing. You know, you don't have any baggage following you around. I'm not sure that might not be the best thing for the program at this point. You know, hard to say.
Just blow it up.
Yeah. You know what? I was really out of that game Saturday. I guess the biggest thing. I mean, I know that a lot of people are upset about it, but Jackson, he's a competitor. He scored that touchdown. He got over at the sidelines. They showed him trying to give him that belt, and he refused it. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of I don't know. You know what? You try to glean what you can from the season, and that I've never been a big fan of the belt deal, but I was glad to see him turn it down. It's just like, you know what? That kind of caps it off. So anyway, you guys have a good Thanksgiving, traveling and stuff.
Thank you, JR. You do the same.
Be safe.
All right. We'll see you later. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, KJ captured people's attention. I mean, there's not any doubt. I didn't see the belt thing, obviously. I was not watching on television. But I don't like that stuff either, but kids do. I mean, hey, here's one thing. They do this stuff in the pros now. This is not just a college thing. Football, baseball. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff going on now. These all that stuff's, it's not just for college kids anymore.
It's a trickle-up effect.
Yeah, it's the trickle up. Trickle up. Yeah, that's the term I was looking for. Well, Clay Henry is going to join us in the next hour. The amazing Clay Henry. We'll get his thoughts on what transpired over the weekend. I know he's kind of like the rest of us. It's just not much fun to lose to Texas. It was good for a half. And then Arch just went wild, and Razorback secondary made him look pretty good. All right, it is 6:55. It's the Chuck and Bo Show, Thanksgiving week, 7 o'clock hour straight ahead.
This fall, don't just pay for a heating tune-up. Make it part of a Paschal membership and get year-round benefits for your home. For as low as $8.99 a month, your annual tune-up is included. Plus, members get exclusive discounts on air, plumbing, and electric services. Don't wait until there's a problem. Protect your home, budget, and peace of mind with Paschal. Visit gopaschal.com to learn more and join today. And Razorback fans, we've got exciting news. Paschal is now proud to be the official air, plumbing, and electric provider of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today. Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge.
Hey folks, Chuck Barrett here, the voice of the Razorbacks. And if you're ready for freedom from glasses or contacts, there's only one name you need to know: McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's LASIK, clear lens exchange, or advanced cataract surgery, they've got the solution to help you see your best, no matter your age. Doctors Betts and Mengarelli are the real deal, 2 of the most experienced surgeons anywhere. They've even taken care of my eyes, and now I'm seeing the basketball court crystal clear. I'm so glad I chose McDonald Eye, and you will be too.
For Chuck Barrett, I'm Bo Madden. Good morning. Hey kids, how about a bagel?
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Hey, Joe, what are you hearing about the coaching search?
I don't care. I couldn't care less. Yeah, maybe they'll be back. I don't know. I think they'd be better off just turning that stadium into a soccer. They should just drop football as far as I'm concerned. I'm tired of the prima donnas and buying them new cars. I'm sick of it. I just had to get some stuff off I'm pissed off.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show.
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Oh, Thanksgiving week. Holiday week. Bo's away. He's gone this week, vacationing somewhere south of the border. The Bart cutout is in Bo's spot over here. It really looks good. The way you've got the hat, the Flight by Yingling hat up on the cardboard cutout, keeps the head from drooping over. It's a strategic move right there. It looks
it's like a counterweight.
You know, I've had people at the ball game twice now, basketball games, ask me when the cutout is going to make an appearance at the game. So we're going to have to keep that in mind once we get past the first of the year. Clay Henry's going to join us coming up inside this hour. Whole Hog Sports. We'll get his thoughts on how things are progressing. Eric's on the line at Fort Smith. Let's just go right back to the phones as we begin the new hour. Eric, you are on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Doing okay. What's up today with you?
Good news. I'm off this Thanksgiving break, so that's nice.
That is good news.
Bang.
Let me tell you, I watched the games this weekend. Besides the D-line needing some work for penetration, I think our safeties need some fundamental coverage or kind of coverage fundamentals for sure. We left a lot of guys open yesterday in the backfield that really shouldn't have been open. But in regards to the football game, man, it was that 50-yard reception to our 15 at, I don't know, it was about 5:30 p.m. It's turned into a touchdown made the score 45-23, and that was pretty much when I was ready to turn off the TV. But as you guys know, I mute my TV and I listen to Chuck on the radio, and I'm a vet, so I've heard some depressing voices, but that last half, I had to turn off the radio. I could hear the depression coming out of your voice.
Well, it was, Texas did everything they wanted to do offensively. That's for sure.
We let them steamroll us, just like I said before the game. The defense, the safeties need coverage on this game.
Well, here's the thing. Eric. No one disagrees as far as pass coverage and things like that, but it's not like that just emerged. I mean, you look at a team, and we were talking about this during the break. The tough part about Arkansas's defense right now is there's not really anything you can hang your hat on. When you face a team like Auburn that can't throw, well, just run the ball every play, and you'll score. When you play a team like Texas was with Arch on Saturday, it's like, well, why even run the ball? Which they really didn't. I mean, they had less offense than Arkansas. They had 490, and I think less than 100 was rushing. So, in their situation, it was, well, why even try to do that when you can complete a pass every time? So that's the tough part about Arkansas defensively right now. Is there's just not much you can hang your hat on at this point in terms of, well, you can't do this against them, so you better do that. Saturday they did pretty much what they wanted. All right, Clay Henry's on the line, Whole Hog Sports. Clay, how are you today? Did you have a good weekend?
I did.
Good.
We have sisters here. We fished a little bit yesterday afternoon. We had steak dinner after the Richard Steaks right after the football games to kind of wash away our sorrows. Yeah, I heard you guys explaining the football game, and it comes down to speed. And they've got no closing speed on defense, so it doesn't really matter what plays you call. Well, I guess it does matter. You want to make 50 yards or you want to make 20 yards. That was Sark's dilemma. How fast do you want to go?
Do I bleed the clock and score, or do I just go score?
Yeah, and that's their defense is good enough that they're going to get a few stops. They have some talent on defense, but I've said this before, and in the day of NIL, you have scholarships and then you have NIL. But just understand this: everybody's got scholarships, so you're equal there. But if you don't have NIL money on defense, you're basically playing with a walk-on defense that nobody else wants. Or they would have spent a little money and got those players. Because you're handicapped with how much money that you had to spend for defense. And they've got a couple of defensive tackles. I'd say Cam Ball is the exception. Maybe Quincy Rhodes. But the rest of them, they wouldn't be on any other SEC roster, in my opinion.
They wouldn't be playing a lot if they were. They wouldn't be.
Yeah, they wouldn't be starters. Yeah.
So
it makes a huge difference.
What are the people on the river saying about the coaching search?
Well, I don't know that anybody on the river has done anything more than ask me.
Well, I'm not saying are they right or wrong. I'm just saying, what are they saying? What are the people saying?
Well, what I'm saying is they're asking me.
I know.
Don't know.
I know.
And the consensus of the people when I was on a walk yesterday was that they want the elf.
Yeah.
They want Eric Morris, the elf. And I came to that conclusion Saturday night by karma. And that's all we have, right? The search is, Hunter's not letting it out, and which is good on his part. That's the way it's supposed to be. If you want to have these coaches stay in contact with you, as soon as he starts talking about them, then they're gonna bow out. So he's got to stay close to the vest. But where you hear information is the people around them. That's where the leaks are, because these coaches have got to tell their boss, "Hey, I'm interviewing for so and so. I need this hour," because their minutes are filled up. So if somebody disappears for an hour, it's noticeable to do it, a Zoom or whatever it is that they're doing. But so I'm watching TV Saturday night and a little bit, I'm a little bit down because I know what I think of Texas, and for them to just slap you around the way they did and, be able to score at will, that's no fun to watch. And so I was a little bit down and, I had my Klondike bar, and that didn't cheer me up any. Usually it does. And that's my night. That's my go-to. Let's have some fun now. Let's eat a Klondike bar. And, for other people, it might be a stiff bourbon, but for me, it's a Klondike bar.
I hear you.
And I'm flipping through the channels. I really didn't want to watch any football. I was kind of down. And there was Will Ferrell and Elf. And I decided, I watch Elf every once a year, maybe twice a year. Sometimes, if, one of our girls are, I say girls, they're in their 40s. You don't want me to say that, but they're ladies now. If they're there, then we might watch Elf again. So I got started on Elf. I did a little bit. I saw him rev up the motors and go through Central Park. Yeah. He's done it again. And I decided to switch over. I was like, Rice. I'll watch Rice in North Texas. North Texas has Eric Morris. And I really liked what I saw. And then I started doing some digging, found some stuff on ESPN, and then found some other stuff. Just read his backstory. All the stuff coaching Pat Mahomes and everybody else, Cam Ward, and his days. I got all the way back to his days playing for Leach at Texas Tech, and I said, this is going to get good. sure enough, he played inside receiver, and they nicknamed him the Elf. And for 3 weeks, Mike Leach made him practice in an elf costume. Well, that's all I need. That's all I need.
On the heels of seeing the movie. So it just all it just all crystallized for you is what you're trying to say.
That's our coach. That's our coach.
That's a tale right there. That is a
So, not that I know anything.
Well, you know, when you put it in the terms that you just put it, I mean, how could it be anybody else?
It's got to be.
Yeah. So,
and I mean, Oklahoma State's going after him too. So it's not like, okay, we can have him. It's not going to be like he's the only one that is out there and there's 5, 6 other schools that can probably get him too. That's where he wants to go. So hopefully he understands that elfdom is alive and well in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
What'd you think of KJ Jackson Saturday night?
He reminded me of when Tyler Wilson came in for Mallett at Auburn. You know, after they roughed up Mallett with kind of an illegal hit, which wasn't called. I think he did fine, and you know, he's. Let me put it this way: he can run the Elf's offense and do real well. Now, Elf might bring his quarterback, who's a freshman, is pretty darn good. But it's. I don't think quarterback will be a problem if Eric Morris is the head coach. I think he'll have his pick of quarterbacks and have 2 or 3 that are adequate, and he'll coach them up. He will score points. But to your question to KJ Jackson, he's exactly what we thought he was, to the point of why haven't we seen him sooner?
Last question. How do you get back to winning? I mean, what do you think? What's the recipe, regardless of who the coach is? I mean, what do you think the recipe is to turn this thing around?
Yeah, I think that we've seen it. It starts on the defensive side. Now, I shouldn't say it starts on the defensive side. You got to have quarterbacks, but the age-old saying, and I think this came from the old Tennessee coach, Neyland, that the team that has the best tackles on offense and defense, and all things being equal at quarterback, going to win the game. And Arkansas has been playing with a short stick at defensive tackle and offensive tackle for too long. And you better have studs there. And I know that there's not that many Sean Andrews and Dan Hamptons and Wayne Martins that are developed in your state. And if there is, you better get them with whatever it costs. And then you better go outside the state, and you better jump right in there with the heavyweights and get you some of those guys. And boy, is it going to be expensive, but that's the way. And then you better coach them up. And we know that Arkansas, you can coach them up and can do more with less. But I don't think you can do more with less at tackle on offense and defense. I don't think there's anything you can do smoke and mirrors unless you have elite defensive linemen, offensive linemen.
Clay Henry, Whole Hog Sports. Thanks, man. I hope you have a great week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, sorry you're without Bo. You just hang in there. It'll be all right.
Thanks, man. Are you the one that's going to do the cooking this week?
What do you mean? Oh, there'll be a joint effort.
Okay. All right. Well, I just wondered what your role was this week.
It's going to be a prime brisket, and there'll also be all the fixings. And I will also do 2 turkey roasts, because there's part of there'll be 10. And I asked for a request, and it wasn't unanimous, so I just said, well, I'll do all that.
Well, just stay in your lane, man. Stay in your lane. That's it. You just got to stay in your lane over the holidays. I know you are.
You do it too. And I mean, hey, I'm glad to hear sometimes you by yourself, just so everybody knows that you still have game, and you don't really need Bo.
No, but I do need Bo.
No, but you don't really need. You might like to have him as a crutch, but you don't really need him, and you can do it. And I'll say the same thing about him. That you guys can give the other one time off, and that's pretty cool. I did it for a long time.
I just want to live like you, Clay. That's my goal in life. Is I want to live.
Well,
like
come
Clay.
see me, and you can have some brisket.
It's too far. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Clay Henry, Whole Hog Sports, joining us on the line on Monday. I didn't really know where the Elf story was going. I'm going to be honest, but he as he always does.
Great movie.
Sometimes it takes a little while, but he tied it all together right there at the end. And I've never seen the movie. Is it good?
Are you serious?
I love Will Ferrell, but I've not seen the movie. It's just not. That's not the kind of movie I sit down and watch. Although I'm sure it's a very entertaining movie. Obviously, both you guys have seen it.
It's good.
All right, quick break.
It's good.
It's good.
It's like a top 3 Christmas movie of all time.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's good.
That's a bold statement.
I'm sure our listeners would agree.
Well, I mean, we're not going down that road.
Okay.
But just so we're clear, we're not going down that road yet.
You got to watch Elf, man.
But I'm sure it's a very fine film. All right, 7:17, Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because
that's
we don't
all I
want
wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Distribution Solutions Incorporated began providing superior customer service back in 1997 based out of Harrison, Arkansas, and they're supporting our local communities today and always looking for professional OTR drivers. DSI knows drivers by name. They're about their people, and when you work with DSI, it feels more like a family than a job, and they know home time matters. If you're a driver, check out their website, drivedsi.com. All the benefits, all the vacation time, and that home time that matters.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville. He's Chuck Barrett.
He's Bo Mattingly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I mean, there are negatives that are you can point to fairly readily, and I don't mean that against any of them. We've all got negatives.
Let's talk about that.
I'm not going to lie.
What are they?
But I'm not going to talk about it either.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Elf gets brought up, and we're barraged with text messages. So-and-so's the best Christmas movie. So-and-so's the best Christmas movie. Classic Christmas movie. We'll do that show.
Can we get
we'll
to
do that
Thanksgiving?
show closer to the Christmas
Can we
holiday.
get to Thanksgiving first?
We're going to get through Thanksgiving, and then we'll do the What's the Best Christmas Movie Ever show.
That's right.
When nothing else is going on, when the coach is hired, when there's no games.
That's right.
That's when we'll go there. Hey, WT Equipment's a family-owned, locally operated dealership. Let me just tell you that as we come back from the break. They've got 8 locations across Arkansas. Now, this is for working folks. Whether you're running a farm, managing a job site, or just taking care of your own land, WT Equipment has the tools to get it done. And I'm talking trusted brands, the legendary Bobcat, New Holland, Hustler, Steel. Their expert staff's there to help you find exactly what you need. Their commitment to service runs deep, and so do their Arkansas roots. So if you're looking for dependable equipment and folks who treat you like family, stop by your nearest WT Equipment location or visit WTEquip.com, and let's get to work. Mark is in Fort Smith. Mark, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Hey, Chuck. Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you.
Headed to Waldron to see some patients.
Well,
I
good.
just wanted to chime in on a couple of things that Clay brought up, and I'm kind of that generation. I grew up reading what his dad wrote for the Gazette, was on campus at the end of Coach Broyles' era, and then in the heyday of Coach Holtz. For some of us of that generation, it's getting harder and harder to watch. And I'm hoping and praying that doesn't bleed over into having butts in the seats at Donald W. Reynolds. I just can't imagine if we don't right the ship at some point in time that the revenue stream that we all know has to come from football begins to shrivel. But be that as it may, I'm in wholehearted agreement with Clay. You got to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. You can have all the great specialty team and skill players that you need, but unless you control the line of scrimmage, at some point things begin to break down. And do I want it to turn into 3 yards in a cloud of dust? No. But the fact of the matter is, you better control the line of scrimmage. You better be balanced in every facet of the game. And frankly, we just haven't been there. And he brought up 2 greats, Andrews and Hampton. I went to school with Dan. And you just have to have that. But I appreciate you guys. Hated that Bo's not there this morning, but I'd agree with Clay. You do well, friend. It's good to hear from you. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk about Elf later.
All right. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to watch that over the holiday season. Yeah, it's I hear Mark, and I know there are a lot of people of that generation. That's my generation, too. I mean, we remember things others don't. And because, if you're not of a certain age, you don't recall when guys like Dan Hampton played. You don't recall when, Arkansas in our minds was good, when life was better. The further back you go, life was always a little bit better back then than it is now. But in terms of wins and losses, clearly it was a lot better. I keep coming back to this thought, and I don't know that this is the right thought, but this is kind of where I am on some things. I'm not sure that – I used to think this. I used to think that there was no fooling anybody, no tricking anybody. You got to go out and you got to line up. You got to beat them at the line of scrimmage, and I still believe that. But I also think, and this is what I'm driving at, I'm not so sure Arkansas is not going to have to do something that's a little bit different than everybody else. What Leach did at Mississippi State when he had them going. What he did at Texas Tech, what he did at some of these schools that can't go out and recruit the great defensive tackle or don't have the money to go out and buy one in this day and age. You got to do something a little bit different from everybody else. Either, like Hatfield did here, like Georgia Tech did for years, you run that triple option. Like Leach did for years, you run that air raid. I know for some people that sounds like a concession. And there's a part of me that feels like it's like a concession when you say that. But I'm not so sure that's not part of the answer. I'm not saying that's the entire answer. You can't just make your living running the ball out of the spread. I mean, you got to line them, whip some people every once in a while. But I also think that the idea that we're going to be able to go out and get the same defensive tackles and the same offensive tackles that the playoff teams have. I'm not saying it's never going to happen, but those names that Clay mentioned, Sean Andrews, Dan Hampton, those are old guys now. Dan Hampton's he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's how long it's been. Sean Andrews, as a kid, they just signed to play basketball here. I mean, that's how long it's been. So those guys don't come around all the time. And the idea that you can just pluck a kid out of Eastern Arkansas and develop him into an All-American, I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know. Maybe it will. But I just keep coming back to this idea. And I'm not saying it's the idea. But I'm just not convinced we're going to be able to go out and do that. And I'm not convinced that, part of the answer isn't maybe doing something that nobody else is doing. Again, maybe I'm totally off base. Getting your butt kicked by Texas will do that to you. Rick's on the line in Lowell. Rick, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, Chuck, gentlemen.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, and one of these days I want to get off social media because it doesn't do anything but put my blood pressure down.
I hear you.
But, you see all these messages and these boards and all this stuff. You've got your head coach right there. You've got your head coach right there. But, Chuck, in the last 10 games, what has he done other than he's presented hope? But hope's not a plan. But he's presented hope, and we're going to score one more point than the defense on the other side of the ball, the offense on the other side of the ball. Our defense is going to keep them from scoring one more point than the other team. He talks a good talk. But statistically, what has he done any different than what Sam Pittman did before he got fired? And I'll be honest with you, I don't care if the guy's last name is Morris or not. I believe that's who we need as a head coach. He's developed some dang good quarterbacks, and he's a dang good quarterback coach. He hasn't been in the SEC, and he's not a big, flashy name that's going to be on the billboard in Las Vegas. But I think he can come to Arkansas, and by golly, he might just be that coach one day. But just help me understand what Coach Petrino's done in Arkansas that hasn't – and I'm not talking 15 years ago. I'm talking the last 10 games.
I hear you. All right, Rick, thanks. The one thing that I will say about Coach Petrino or whoever the interim coach was going to be, they were dealt a losing hand on that side of the ball. Let's just say it for what it is. He was dealt a losing hand in that regard. The first thing he did when he was named interim head coach was make some changes on the defensive side. And those were probably overdue, just to be very honest about it. Arkansas's defensive line, and this is just my opinion. I don't think the defense is rugged enough. And I'm not knocking those guys. I think they're tough kids. My gosh, they'd steamroll me in a heartbeat. But I don't know that in terms of the toughness required, particularly up front, I just don't know that they've had that at any point this year. I didn't see it even beforehand, and I've not seen it since. That tells me that, you've got a couple of sets of coaches. You got a different head coach. You got different line coaches. You got different points of view, different ways of coaching, and the result's the same. That tells me that, coaching's not the entire part of the answer right there. 877-377-6963. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Hold on, guys. I'm on the Chuck and Bo Show. Hold on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Chuck, you've been around a while, and look, I don't mean that ugly, and Bo, you've been around not as long as Chuck.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
are you owning the day? Like, if you're not, at that point, it's still early enough to get your butt in gear, right?
Can I point something out here? It's okay to drag in the morning. It's okay. I mean,
You're not helping this.
I don't care. We're not a self-help show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You think Bo's awake? I mean, you think Bo's up? Bo's south of the border. Cancun is
Probably
the
pretty
word
close.
on the street.
Pretty close to getting
It's they're in the same time zone we are there, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just after 7:30. Probably making it up.
Probably
Think he's
is.
checked in on the show?
Probably not.
Think he's listening now?
I hope not.
Yeah, me too. I mean, really.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah,
man.
that's exactly right. All right, let's put our finger on the pulse, Bart. What are the people saying? YouTube responses, text line. What's the pulse?
We've got text 877-377-6963 if you want to share your thoughts.
What are the people saying? What are the people saying?
Keep Bobby, overhaul the defense, fire the AD is one.
All right.
Is one thought process. Another here from Jamie. I'm all in on 3 coaches: Petrino, Morris, Golish. Out on Malzahn and Silverfield.
Mm-hmm.
Matt and Baldwin. You want different? Hire Kevin Kelly.
Never punt.
Yeah.
Is he coaching anywhere?
I think he's back in the high school.
Is
ranks,
he?
I believe.
All right. Well, pardon me for not knowing. You guys are the varsity vibe folks.
I believe that
You feel
is
the vibe.
that's correct.
Okay.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
But he is different.
Sheridan.
All right. He is different. There's no question about that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Somebody has said hire Brian Kelly, which
they just said that to irritate you.
Yeah,
Bart.
I cannot stress that would be the worst fit in the history of college football.
Yeah. Well, he's not even officially fired at LSU from what I read.
Right.
In fact, his son, I didn't know he had a son that was a walk-on the LSU team. Had a shirt on senior night, and he raised up his jersey, and it said "Free BK," if I'm not mistaken. And BK, of course, being dad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How's
he going to take the Michigan State job if he hadn't been fired at LSU?
I might save him a buyout.
Yeah.
Here's Steve on YouTube says maybe Eric Morris will be coming to Arkansas. He's a very good offensive-minded coach. He just needs to pick up a very good defensive coordinator. Is kind of a prevailing thought with Eric Morris.
It is interesting, and we talked about this last week. People are going to start reading these profiles. They're going to start reading about Patrick Mahomes. They're going to start reading about Cam Ward, and they're going to warm up to this guy. See, we're in the warming up process right now. First it was, I don't want him. His last name's Morris. Then it was, this guy, he can score points, but might want to get a defensive coordinator. That's kind of where we are right now. This is part of the warming up process.
Yeah.
They've gone from, I don't even know who this guy is, to, I like what I read, but we might need to hire a defensive coordinator.
They will need look, I will be perfectly blunt. Their run defense specifically at North Texas the past 3 seasons has been brutally awful. It's been one of the worst in all of college football. That does not play in the SEC. So you gotta figure that out. That is for sure.
Well, but
you got to give him a chance to figure it out.
He's a football coach. I'm sure he doesn't come into the SEC thinking, we don't care about defense.
That's right.
We're just trying to get the ball back and score. But now it doesn't sound like
if he is, that's a problem.
It doesn't sound like, at least in their league. And look, let's face it. When you're in that conference, you're in Denton's basically North Dallas. You got a lot of things to compete with. You got a lot of things to compete with down there. You're socially climbing in the land of the ultimate social climbers, the people at SMU. Nobody socially climbed like an SMU Mustang. Nobody. And they're in the midst of climbing right now. And North Texas is trying to model what they're doing after SMU. That's the model down there right now, is we're going to do what SMU's done. We're going to get us some rich folks, and we're going to get them to pour money into the program, and we're going to find a way to get into the college football playoff. That's what SMU did. It's what North Texas is on the verge of doing themselves. They're putting together a package trying to keep this guy. It's not going to be the package that even a lower-level SEC team can offer. but they are trying to do what they can. They envision themselves as being the next SMU of the Dallas Metroplex area. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off or not, but that's their vision.
I will say, I do. To be fair, I want to play both sides here.
I hear you.
North Texas is second nationally in turnover margin.
Okay.
So
where's Arkansas?
Very, very much at the bottom.
Yeah.
130th.
It was 0-2 again on. It was 0-2 on Saturday.
So that's a positive.
That's interesting. Rod is cruising down the interstate. Rod, what's going on? Welcome to the Chuck and Bo Show. Hope you had a great weekend.
Good morning, sir. Yeah, well, I work Sunday, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll be off a couple of days this week.
Good.
But, you brought up some very good points about the defense. Now, if Sam Pittman had hired a really good defensive coordinator, he would still be doing the Sam Pittman show. So that's one thing. You can't have a coach that falls in love with one player like a quarterback and sticks with him and goes down with the Titanic. You can't have that. You got to have somebody that will separate and go to the next guy. But Ryan Silverfield has more experience dealing with SEC offenses on defense. North Texas, not so much. You can look really great at a school if you're playing Rice. But if you're playing Bama, Georgia, Texas, OU.
Well, everybody knows that, though, Rod. Everybody knows. I almost said Bart. I'm so used to disagreeing with Bart. It's like everybody knows that, Bart. Everybody knows that, Rod.
Yeah, I know. But this guy hasn't been competing with any of these guys. We're like, Silverfield has. I'm just saying that you need somebody that can go out and get the guy for the coordinator. And I'm not real sure some of these names are the guy that can go out and get the guy.
Well, here's the thing. Let me interrupt you just for a second. Here's the thing that I think people have to keep in mind when they say, with an offensive coach, go hire a great defensive coordinator. That defensive coordinator's got to coach to your overall head coaching plan. There are points in games where, offensive-minded coaches may have different things in mind than a defensive-minded coach. Both of them make valid points. I don't know that any head coach that is smart, I don't believe you turn the keys over to either side of the ball. And I don't care if you're a defensive coach and you've got the most brilliant offensive mind ever as your offensive coordinator. You're the head coach. You start turning the keys over to somebody else, you start losing control of your future. I believe that. So I do think there needs to be the understanding that whoever the head coach is, if it's an offensive-minded head coach, he's going to hire a defensive coordinator that fits into his overall philosophy.
So did Bo go on vacation or did he get deported?
Well, he did not get deported, at least not to my knowledge. But no, he's on
self-deport.
He's on vacation. No, he'll be back. He'll be back next week.
He's self-deported.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, man. I appreciate it, guys. You guys have a good morning and have a good day.
All right, Rod. Thank you. We're behind. I got to take a break. 877-377-6963, 746. This is the Chuck and Bo Show.
See, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life, too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Imagine every sip and bite feels like you're celebrating the finer things in life. Chef Shiloh and the bartenders at Tusker's Tavern in Fayetteville have just dropped new menu items celebrating a cocktail culture and culinary craftsmanship. Daily happy hour, 5 to 6:30. 20% off wine by the glass and $5 local draft beer. And for fun, they've created Unhappy Hour, Monday through Wednesday from 9 to 11 p.m. with the same specials. It's Tusker's Tavern at the corner of Mission and Crossover in Fayetteville.
The nation's best home court advantage lives inside Bud Walton Arena. The Razorbacks are back inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, and Coach Calipari and the Hogs need you there and need you loud all season long. A limited number of single-game tickets are available right now. Just head over to ArkansasRazorbacks.com and purchase yours today.
I want to see you and Bart in the old three-legged race.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let me just...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
And I include myself in this. We like to think we know what we're talking about, but sometimes we do miss the mark. I mean, sometimes we do.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know if you know this or not. I did not until we came in this morning and Bart alerted me. It is D.B. Cooper Day. Now, we started talking about D.B. Cooper, and Edward's like, I have no idea what you guys are even talking about. The year was 1971. Now, it was an era where plane hijackings, if you're old enough to remember, plane hijackings, someone hijacking a plane for ransom, was not all that uncommon. Now, I'm not saying it happened every week, but it happened with a lot more. I mean, it's very rare that you hear about it now. It was fairly commonplace in that era. Hijack a plane, somebody's wanted on charges. They either want money or they want to be flown to a foreign country. And if not, everybody's going to die. And D.B. Cooper hijacked a plane back in 1971 out in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, somewhere in that area, Oregon, somewhere. Bart, I'm going to let you pick up the story from here. But D.B. Cooper hijacks the plane. Long story short, he jumped out of the plane and he's never been heard from since.
Yeah, so hijacked a plane, Northwest Orient Airlines.
Yeah, now defunct.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
That was flying from Portland to Seattle. He told the flight crew that he had a bomb, demanded $200,000.
Which was a fortune in those days.
Yeah, equivalent to basically $1.6 million.
Won't even get you a defensive tackle now.
And 4 parachutes upon landing in Seattle. The passengers were released in Seattle. He directed the crew to refuel the aircraft and begin a second flight
and
to
he got his money.
Mexico City with a refueling stop in Reno. After the plane took off from Seattle, he opened the aircraft's door and parachuted to an uncertain fate over a remote, heavily wooded area of southwestern Washington. In 1980, a small portion of the ransom money was found along the riverbanks of the Columbia River near Vancouver, Washington. To this day, still unsolved. Have no idea who this guy is, what his real name is.
They never found a body.
What his motive is. Never found.
Never found a body. No trace of him being alive. The only thing that's happened since he parachuted out of that plane was they found some money on the banks of a river in 1980, 9 years later.
It is the only unsolved case of air piracy in the history of commercial
I think
aviation.
it's a fascinating case. They've done documentaries on this stuff. Edward can't wait to go out and watch it. Now you're going to go home and look one up, aren't you?
I'm fascinated.
I know you are.
I'm fascinated. Gonna have some time off this week.
D.B. Cooper and the Zodiac Killer.
And he has his own day.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got his own day, for crying out loud. I mean, here we are, 1971 to 2025.
Celebrating
Quick math.
crime.
44 years? Is that right? 44 years, 39, and
54.
54 years. 54 years. They're still talking about it. You want people to talk about you forever, Edward? Hijack a plane, jump out.
Do not do that.
8 o'clock coming up. Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this. Friends, I'd like to introduce you to Woodhouse Spa Rogers. It's the kind of place you go to relax. Get a tea, signature mimosa, glass of champagne. You get treated like a king or a queen for a while. Woodhouse Spa Rogers is a customizable spa experience with every service tailored to your needs. And for the holidays, what a great gift idea. Woodhouse Spa gift cards are as meaningful as they are effortless. The gift of truly relaxing. Woodhouse Spa Rogers in Pinnacle Hills or online at rogers.woodhousespas.com. Need help growing your brand with strategy and creativity? At Vanquish Marketing, the mission is simple. Help businesses grow with clarity, kindness, and excellence. They don't just run ads or manage campaigns. They come alongside brands as a true partner. By creating data-driven marketing funnels and building strategies that scale, they equip their clients for long-term success. Guided by their core values, they know growth is about more than transactions. It's about people. Visit vanquish.marketing to jumpstart your brand today.
Donuts, Red Bull, and lottery
Red
tickets.
Bull.
I mean, how could you want anything
Courtesy
more?
of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
What is it with you and the Lobos? Let's just get to the bottom of it. What is it with you and the Lobos?
I like the Lobos, man. New Mexico's a cool
Just like
place.
them, man.
Okay, man.
New Mexico's a cool place.
Go get him, man.
It just sounds like a hippie in a man. Dude, I just like it, man.
Hey, man.
I just, I smoke a little bit and I just drive around. I like it. I like the Lobos, man. Like, which one?
It's the land of enchantment.
Enchantment.
It's the Lobos,
The
man.
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this much.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I'm always amazed as we do this show each day what hits and what doesn't. What people latch on to and what they don't. We mentioned it's DB Cooper Day before we go to the top of the hour break. The guy that hijacked the plane, disappeared, whole deal. I mean, we're just like inundated with text messages and all sorts of messages saying, "What's the movie Without a Paddle?" That's a movie that's loosely based on DB Cooper Day. And again, that it's just amazing what catches with people, Bart. It's incredible.
It is.
But the coaching search seems to be what
That's the number one thing.
Yeah, that seems to be what brings us all together at a time like this. It does sound like, based on what we heard over the weekend, that we are inching very closely to the hiring of a new coach at Arkansas. Pete Thamel had a report on Game Day on Saturday that kind of confirmed what I think a lot of people knew, that it was Eric Morris, Ryan Silverfield, Golish down at South Florida, and Kane Womack, who was a walk-on here under Houston Nutt, and his dad, Dave Womack, was the D.C. here for a while and some other places too. And Kane was head coach at South Alabama, and now he's the D.C. at Alabama, the University of Alabama. So those were the four that got thrown out Saturday. And not really thrown out, but there was kind of a confirmation, I guess might be the better way to put it. A lot of signs point toward Denton, Texas, toward Eric Morris. But there may be signs pointing toward other guys, too. He was the popular name yesterday. The thing that I've not gotten my head around yet is how all this is going to play out in terms of the games that the other guys still have to coach. One thing, and this is proving to be true again, whenever you have a coaching search and a hire, I don't know that eminent's the right word, maybe it is, but when a hire's really close, the information always trickles out from the other place. It's not from the school that's doing the hiring. It's from the guy that's getting hired. Because as Clay pointed out a little bit earlier, he's got people he's got to inform, and they're the ones that begin to talk. They're the ones that begin to whisper. And so I think a lot of the talk yesterday, in fact, I know a lot of the talk yesterday came out of Denton, Texas. And so that is why you saw a good bit of the internet activity yesterday saying that, they got their guy. They got a new coach. That may be true. But, again, I've yet to get my head around how all this is going to transpire as we move through this holiday week. If things are imminent, as some of the reports indicate, it's basically got to happen today or tomorrow. It's not going to happen, in terms of this week. You got a holiday coming up. You got Thanksgiving. You got ball games on really Fridays when they begin in earnest. Memphis plays Thursday. Night. Pretty much everybody else playing Friday or Saturday. So, Bart, I've yet to just really get a real feel for, how logistically how all this may transpire over the next few days.
Well, I do want to add that Chip Kelly's now available. In case anybody was interested in that, he's been fired.
An 11th hour development.
OC.
Chip Kelly's been fired by the Raiders.
It's the Raiders, yeah. So anyway,
yeah, thanks, Bart.
Yeah. To your point though, North Texas. So they play Temple on Friday. Okay, that game is at 2:30 on ESPN.
Okay, they play a Friday game.
If you would like to watch that game, here's the thing, and I'm just using this as an example for the situation, but this is also the most complicated scenario potentially with any of the candidates for the Arkansas head coaching job. If North Texas wins that game on Friday against Temple, they are playing for the American Conference Championship game. If they win that game, which would be presumably, or as things stand right now, would be against either Tulane or Navy. If they win that game, they are in the college football playoff.
They're 10-1.
They're in the college football playoff if they win the next 2 weeks. How does that impact a potential hire at Arkansas or anywhere else, right? Like, I have a hard time believing a coach is just going to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm done. I'm not
Lane
coaching
Kiffin
in the playoff.
may do it.
Like that's hard to believe for me, and frankly, that's kind of like, I mean, if you have a chance to win a championship, you got to compete for the championship.
Well, we are in unprecedented territory,
That's right.
Uncharted waters.
That's right.
Because Kiffin may leave. He says he's going to announce after the Egg Bowl. They play Friday at 11. They play the early. It's not Thanksgiving night. Memphis and Navy play Thursday night. It's 11 o'clock in the morning for the Egg Bowl on Friday. And I'm going to assume that by the close of business Friday, we're going to know if Lane Kiffin's staying at Ole Miss or not. I'm going to assume that. LSU, it's a strong offer. I mean, it's a strong offer, as Will Wade would say, to Lane Kiffin. And so, on one hand, it's impossible for me to believe that Kiffin would leave Ole Miss or that Morris would leave North Texas. It's impossible on one hand for me to believe that. On the other hand, there have been so many things over the last 3 or 4 years that were impossible for me to believe that happened. I can't look at this and say, no, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that because I don't know that they won't. And I don't know that I wouldn't either. You hear these coaches talk about the calendar a lot. Calendar's got a lot to do with a lot of things. I mean, it really does. And in this case, the calendar and college football openings just do not align. And there's no way to make them align. It's impossible. So if you're a coach out there like a Lane Kiffin or like an Eric Morris, you've got a really, really hard decision to make. Maybe the hardest professional decision you've ever made in your life. What do I do? I'm not sure I know what the answer is, and that's why I'm having trouble getting my head around all this. Because I know 5 years ago, if you'd said to me, well, he may leave, I would have said, no way. And if he leaves them, you better not hire him because he'll leave you too. But now I look at the landscape, and I don't know that that's the right way to think. Because, if you're North Texas, or if you're any of these other places, Memphis, South Florida, all that stuff, you better be deciding who your next coach might be, because it looks like your guy at the very least is considering other options. I don't know. I mean, it's a tough one. But I do think we're very close now. I don't know if it's going to be this week. I know people want that. But
I think people just want it to be over.
Well, they do, and I get that part. But you're on the other guy's schedule too, and so we'll just to me it's going to be the next few days. It does sound like that they've zeroed in. It does sound like they know the direction they're going. To me, it's just a question of how does the timeline play out now. And that's a big mystery to me. I mean, I guess we'll see. 877-377-6963. Lane is on the line, and we're just going to go right there. Lane, you are on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hope y'all's doing okay today.
So far, so good.
Sir, so one question I've got, is it true that Kane Archer decommitted from UCF?
He did, and I think he's committed to Utah, from what I understand. Right. He decommitted from UCF and committed to Utah.
Okay. Well, and I didn't even know if that was true. and I didn't know if maybe our coaching search, if he really would consider staying in the state.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
But that was really all I was wondering. And Chuck, what do you think about the basketball game Thursday? I know if we don't play good, it ain't gonna go well for us. But thanks for taking my call, guys.
I would expect Arkansas to play well Thursday. This is a primetime game. Thanksgiving, nation's going to be watching. This is when primetime players play. And I don't know that you get a primetime effort all the time. I hate to say it, but I don't know that you're going to get a primetime effort every time you play a non-conference ball game in the middle of the week or early in the week. I just don't know that you're going to get that. It's human nature. But I think they'll be top shelf on Thursday, and I think it'll be a great game. Duke's good, but so is Arkansas. It's an early season game. We don't have the body of work yet to look at and say, well, 10 or 12 times this has happened this year, and they didn't respond, or they did respond, and this is what happened. That gives you a better idea. Don't really know right now. Duke's really talented. Arkansas is really talented. I think it's just going to be a fun 2.5 hours of basketball is what I think.
Sorry, Chuck.
That's all right.
We just got a text in, and the text just says Matt Campbell.
Yeah, he's a popular name now too.
That's all it is. No context.
He's a popular name.
I would like to request some context.
Well, I mean, look, he's been there so long that I think the thought among a lot of people is, well, he's got to be getting ready to leave. I mean, the shelf life on a coach. I mean, when you hit 10 years, I mean, you're ancient. You're without question, or at least most of the time, you're the dean of the coaches.
He's done better there than anybody ever has.
You got to give him credit for that.
But yeah, I mean, I think probably hit the ceiling in terms of what you can do there.
And
time to reset the clock.
Part of the issue, I think, with schools like Iowa State, and maybe to an extent us, and some other schools too, is that, money's always been important. And I'm not saying that your budget's not always had a lot to do with who wins and who loses, but it seems more so now than ever. And you do wonder, because it's Iowa State, what are they going to be able to do in that regard moving forward? And is there a job out there that provides him a better avenue? I don't know that we can honestly look ourselves in the mirror right now and say we're that job. I think if you're a Matt Campbell and you leave Iowa State, you're going to a place like Penn State, or you're the dark horse candidate at Florida, or you're maybe where an LSU turns if they strike out on Kiffin. I don't think that Matt Campbell leaves Iowa State to come to Arkansas. That's a pipe dream.
He's a Midwest guy.
That's a pipe dream.
He's a Midwest guy.
And part of the issue in all of this is that we fall victim to pipe dreams when coaching searches happen, and that adds to our disappointment at the end. We do this a lot. In fact, Seth texted a little bit earlier, can we just go ahead and get ahead of the game, start naming names for our next coaching search? Maybe 2029, 2030. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. Maybe we can get ahead of the game now. That's a facetious comment, but it's like, it does kind of make you tilt your head like a puppy and think, well, maybe that might be, maybe that. I mean, he's joking, and I understand all that, but the point is we tend to repeat ourselves.
That's right.
When it comes to all this, and part of it is because we buy into pipe dreams. We think that James Franklin's coming. If we'll just outbid somebody, we think they're coming. Guys, have you checked what the conference record is over the last decade? Have you really looked at it?
It's not great.
Have you looked at how many teams we've got to climb over to get into the playoff hunt as opposed to how many teams you have to climb over in the ACC or the Big 12? I mean, the daunting task, and it is a daunting task. I'm not saying it can't be done. But I am saying that the challenge here is perhaps a little bit more unique than it is in some spots. We do have history that we cite. We do have a prideful football program. The problem is our success happened a long time ago. And the way we went about it then might not be the way you go about it now. And I just kind of look at it, and that's why I say maybe you need to think about doing something different from what everybody else is doing. I know when Mike Leach came to Mississippi State, and I bring Mike Leach up because Eric Morris is of the same cut. I think that, when you look at what Leach did at Mississippi State, did they play a lot of defense? No. Did you always feel like you could run the ball on them? Yep. But were you afraid they might outscore you and beat you? Absolutely. He made them feel like they had a chance to win every game. And Arkansas fans right now don't feel like they have a chance to win every game. And that's where you lose your – that's in the absence of hope. That's when everything goes down the drain. And that's kind of where it is right now. And I'm not breaking any news. I'm not saying anything anybody doesn't know. In fact, I'm just kind of repeating, if you want to get right down to it, what a lot of other people have said. But I do think we're in the final hours. And whether it's this week, I don't know. But I'll bet you by the time we get together next Monday, we know who the next coach is. 8:18. It's flying by this morning. 877-377-6963. This is the Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't know if anybody else is having fun, but this is a blast for me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Hey, I'm sorry if this makes too much sense. I am more than happy to hear where I'm off on this.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You know, when you have two hosts on a show and one host is like laughing uncontrollably, the other one's supposed to talk. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
8 years ago today, Brett Bielema was walking off the field. I looked down out of the corner of my eye. Who did I see on the field? Julie Cromer Peoples. And
what a weird time.
Yeah, that was a weird night.
What a weird.
That was a weird. Hey,
night.
Coach, let me catch you before you go into the locker room. You're toast. And I mean, that was such a weird thing.
It was a disaster.
Because Bielema goes into the press conference, and I went down there because, you know, part of me, I wanted to see it.
I
wanted to see it. I'll just be honest with you. I
Yeah.
wanted to see it, and I wanted to speak to Brett. That's why I went down there. I don't go down there very often. And
it was in the makeshift media room.
Makeshift media room, and Bielema knew he was gone. And, I mean, it was emotional in there now. I mean, there were some tears being shed.
It was.
And there were guys on his staff that were all around. And, I mean, it was one of those moments. And I don't know what's happened since. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know what's happened since. I've watched it with all the rest of you.
Arkansas went 1-7 in league play in Bielema's final year. And since then, 0-8, 0-8. 3-7, 4-4, 3-5, 1-7, 3-5, and 0-7 so far this year.
For those of you who are non-math majors, 15-58 is the conference mark.
Is Arkansas in the same spot they were in 8 years ago today, or in a worse spot?
Yeah, and
or in a better spot, but
here's the thing that I think we all have to keep in mind, and sometimes we forget these things during coaching searches. When you fire a coach, it's because he didn't win, and you're basically saying it's time to start over. Let's blow it up. Let's start over. Every time you fire somebody, you're starting over, despite what people think. You don't just pick up where you left off. You start from scratch, and that's the reality of the coaching change, and that's the reality that Arkansas faces right now. And if you are an up-and-comer, you know, if you're a John Sumrall and Eric Morris and Alex Golish, the thing that you do not want to do, above all other things, is as you are climbing, take the wrong move, make the wrong move, take the wrong job, hit the wrong step. That can derail you. And the reality is, it's going to take a gutsy guy to come in here and tackle this job. Because here's the thing. We're looking up at everybody. We're looking up at everybody in a 16-team conference. We're looking up at Vanderbilt. We're looking up at Mississippi State. And way in the distance, I mean way out there in the distance, is Texas and Oklahoma and Alabama and Georgia and Texas A&M and all the teams you want to be like. Well, you got to pass a lot of other folks to get to them. And that's the part that sometimes we skip over as fans. We think that, you know, we're already better than Kentucky. We're already better than Mississippi State. We're already better than Missouri, even though we can't beat them. We're already beyond those guys. We're ready to take on the top echelon. Well, the coach looks at it differently. And they look at all those losses right there. And that's why I think we buy into pipe dreams when it comes to coaching searches. And when we do that, we just set ourselves up for more disappointment because there are not an abundance of people out there that are going to want to tackle this. It's going to take somebody special. All right, let's head back to the phones. Siloam Springs, Jackie. Jackie, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Chuck, how are you this
I'm
morning?
okay. How are you doing?
It's funny that you brought up the Brett Bielema thing because I was going to call in last week and I didn't have a chance. But you're going to have to – Saturday's game, you're going to have to be on your toes, Chuck, because this is probably what's going to happen is after the game's over with, they're going to let Petrino go on the field, and then they're going to turn around and hire the Missouri coach on the field, and you're going to have to do a coaches show with the outgoing coach and the incoming coach.
He is going to change shirts, huh?
Yeah, he's just going to change shirts, and you're going to say, well, Coach, why did you do this at this time? And then you're going to turn to the new coming coach and say, well, what would you have done to,
Well, that'll be a trick.
Defend this.
That'll be a trick to pull all that off.
But if anybody can do it, it's going to be you, Chuck.
Well,
so
that's an interesting thought. I hadn't thought of that.
I mean, I know it's not going to happen, but every week somebody says that's such an Arkansas. That would be what Arkansas would do, and who else would do that than other than Arkansas? But on the serious side, I heard yesterday on the what's his name, Dari Nochik show.
Dari Noka.
Yeah, he was saying that if Alabama does not beat Auburn, that DeBose is going to Penn State and Kiffin's going to Alabama, and that's how come Kiffin is holding out to see what is going to happen there. Have you heard anything about that? And I'll hang up.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Jackie.
You really meant it.
I do think that is the one wild card scenario that could play out. I don't think Alabama's going to lose to Auburn. Let me say that. I don't think Auburn's got a chance to beat Alabama. But would Kalen DeBoer entertain the thought of leaving Alabama, where they were ready to fire him after the season opener this year? Would he entertain the thought of leaving Alabama to go to Penn State? Would that happen?
If I was in his shoes,
what would you do?
I would at least consider it.
I mean, would that not be the ultimate slap in the face of the Southeastern Conference and maybe the biggest win in the history of Big Ten football? To steal Alabama's coach.
The thing with Kalen DeBoer, that was never going to be easy, right? The hardest job in the world is replacing a legend. And not just a legend, but the legend in the history of college football. There is nothing you can do short of winning multiple national championships in quick order that enables you to live up to what Saban did at Alabama. The expectations are so high that if you're not making the playoff, and I mean, Alabama could miss the playoff this year. It's possible that they could miss out on the playoff in back-to-back years. That would not sit well with Alabama. To be clear, I think Kalen DeBoer is a heck of a coach. I think he is a great coach. And I think Alabama fans need to be patient with what he's building and what he's trying to do there. But, man, if I'm him and there's an exit ramp, I don't know.
Can you do at Alabama in this day and age what they expect to be done at Alabama? Can you go 13-0? Can you go 12-1? They consider 11-2 kind of iffy. 9-3, man, you're on the hot seat. I just don't know if you can do that in this league anymore. I mean, look at what's happened this year. And people say, well, the SEC's down. No, it's not. They're just beating the hell out of each other every week.
I honestly think this year is kind of an anomaly that you have an undefeated team in the SEC.
Georgia's flexing. Georgia's flexing.
I'll tell you this right now. If I was putting my money on a team
they
right
are
now
flexing
to win the national title, it would be on Georgia.
There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Hey, it's a rainy morning in parts of Arkansas. We had rain overnight in northwest Arkansas. If your gutters are giving you issues, let us recommend Hog Trough Gutters. You'll be glad that you that you phoned them. You'll be glad that they're the ones you partner with. I know what's going on right now because I've had it in my neighborhood. Storm chasers are everywhere. Anytime you hit this time of year, you got gutter cleaners, you got guys that are wanting to do work for you. All the leaves. Make certain you go with somebody that you know. Hog Trough Gutters, fully licensed Arkansas contractors. They've been around for 30 years. You're going to be presented with a 20-year written warranty. They're not going to ask you for upfront money. If somebody asks you for upfront money, you're never going to see it again. Seamless gutters, trenching, French drains. It's all done right the first time. Visit hoggutters.com.
Bart, you speak like you're the only smart man breathing.
I take that as a compliment, I think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey folks, Chuck Barrett here, the voice of the Razorbacks. And if you're ready for freedom from glasses or contacts, there's only one name you need to know: McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's LASIK, clear lens exchange, or advanced cataract surgery, they've got the solution to help you see your best, no matter your age. Doctors Betts and Mengarelli are the real deal, two of the most experienced surgeons anywhere. They've even taken care of my eyes, and now I'm seeing the basketball court crystal clear. I'm so glad I chose McDonald Eye, and you will be too.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge. Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Get up. You got to get up. You got to go. You're going to feel worse if you don't. Feel better now.
I don't know about
Hate
that.
it later.
You might feel better staying in bed.
You will. You will.
That's an embellishment. You might feel better staying in bed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
This is our holiday schedule for the week. So get your crayons out and you can write this down. We're going to be here tomorrow, and then we're not going to be here the rest of the week. That's pretty much the story. Bo's gone all week, and when, Bo's gone, we're just going to do whatever we want. So he's south of the border somewhere. And
undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location. And he'll be back across the border at some point later in the week. So he'll be here next week. But we're going to do live programming today and tomorrow.
That's right.
Best of programming on Wednesday. Thanksgiving on Thursday. Best of on Friday. Have I got that
Bang.
right? Bang. Right there. That's how it works. So that's the way we're doing it this week. Okay. What were you saying, Bart? The odds to win the national championship, right? And by the way, Bart went 4-1 on his locks this weekend.
That's right.
He's got Christmas money now.
That's
and,
right. We can afford Christmas gifts.
And the size of the gifts and the quality of the gifts will be further determined by what happens this next weekend.
That's right.
So there's still a possibility nobody's getting anything.
I think locks are going to have to be tomorrow, Chuck.
They are going to have to be tomorrow.
I think we're going to have to.
You're right.
I don't love it, but
that really is challenging to come up with your locks on Tuesday.
Preliminary locks.
Well, you do have games on. You have one game on Thursday.
That's right.
And a bevy of games on Friday. And
Memphis and Navy on Thursday evening.
Yeah, that
should be the Egg Bowl, but
I have to admit it has become a Thanksgiving tradition with me to watch the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving night, and 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday just doesn't seem quite right for the Egg Bowl. It just doesn't.
That said, we will all be tuned in to the Arkansas Duke game.
No question. No question. That starts at 7 o'clock. What are the odds to win it all?
Okay, so these don't make a lot of sense to me right now. Ohio State is plus 180. They are the favorite. Indiana is plus 480. Texas A&M is plus 850. Notre Dame is 9-1. And Georgia is 10-1. Ohio State plus 180, Georgia plus 1,000. That makes absolutely zero sense to me.
If I was a betting man, and I'm not, just so we're clear.
I am.
On college football, I'm not a betting man. You, of course, stake your entire future on it. If I was, though, if I was going to bet the house, I'd bet on Georgia still.
Yeah.
There's still not anybody out there that in the fourth quarter, I really believe in a close game. I've not seen a team, including Ohio State, that I think is going to be able to drive 80 yards and win the game. Now, maybe they'll be so far ahead they don't need to drive 80 yards and win the game. But I don't see anybody out there right now that I think can beat Georgia in the fourth quarter.
I just look at Ohio State, and I don't know what they've done to attain those odds. I really don't. They beat Texas in the opener and then have beaten Grambling, Ohio, Washington, Minnesota, Illinois, Wisconsin, Penn State, Purdue, UCLA, and Rutgers.
That's a long list, though.
That's about all it is.
Well, but
that's about all it is. That to me does not equate plus 180 and Georgia plus 1,000. I think these are messy odds. We'll call them. I don't.
So who are you picking?
If I would pick Georgia to win it all right now, that would be where my money would go.
I would too.
At 10-1, that is a very enticing bet over at Oaklawn Sports.
So $100 wins you 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the math on that?
That's correct.
That would be that'd be a nice win.
It'd be Christmas gifts for everybody.
Yeah, it certainly would. By the way, have you picked out your presents for all of us? I mean, with all your winnings.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah. I haven't gotten you guys anything yet either.
Okay.
By the way, what do you want? You guys, anything?
I don't care.
I mean, it's going to be small and cheap.
Yeah.
I don't.
Pack of bubble gum.
There we go. I don't want you thinking big or anything like that. All right, it's 8:43. We're going to hit our final break right now. We'll come back and find a way to wrap all this up in just a little bit. So stay with us. This is the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. I know this is an audio medium, and I shouldn't just shake my head, but words fail me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds, make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville. Distribution Solutions Incorporated began providing superior customer service back in 1997, based out of Harrison, Arkansas, and they're supporting our local communities today and always looking for professional OTR drivers. DSI knows drivers by name. They're about their people, and when you work with DSI, it feels more like a family than a job, and they know home time matters. If you're a driver, check out their website, drivedsi.com. All the benefits, all the vacation time, and that home time that matters.
Hold on, guys. I'm on the Chuck and Bo Show. Hold on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You know, when you have two hosts on a show and one host is like laughing uncontrollably, the other one's supposed to talk. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security Bank, we talk about them a lot. We got a lot of things to be thankful for. This is one of those weeks when we pay attention to that. You know, we probably ought to do it every day, but we really do this week. First Security Bank, they're more than just banking. They do have all the things that all good banks have, but it's more than that. It's supporting our local community. It's convenient locations, friendly local banking, and it you know, when you've got a new business, they want to help you get started. They want you to succeed. And that's one of the things that I've always liked about the folks at First Security Bank. Check them out online at fsbank.com. You can bank better at First Security Bank, member FDIC. It is a dream scenario. I just knocked that I know. I just knocked the cup off.
That went flying.
It went flying because the book knocked it off the table here, and you heard the noise. Fortunately, there was no liquid in there, so everything's okay.
We're good.
Dream scenario for those who love a good coaching search, and we all know who we are. What if Kalen DeBoer were to leave Alabama and go to Penn State here at the 11th hour? Alabama would make a move on Lane Kiffin, and their fans would feel like they'd won the lottery if Kalen DeBoer left.
Kiffin would go to
Alabama. And Lane Kiffin goes to Alabama. If DeBoer leaves and goes to Penn State, their people are going to feel like they have won the lottery. And they play a lot of lottery down there at Alabama. Don't kid yourself. But they, if I'm DeBoer, I'm at least thinking about it. I mean, you know, he came down there with video game-like numbers in terms of wins and losses. I mean, winning percentage like 800 and whatever. They have 2 or 3 times been ready to run him out of town on a rail. He's replacing the one coach out there that was as close to irreplaceable in people's minds as you could get in Nick Saban. And all they've done from the moment that he's gotten there is tell him he's not good enough. That's all they've done, no matter what he does. Now, again, I don't think they're going to lose to Auburn. I find that impossible to believe, although that is a crazy rivalry. But what if it happens? I mean, on one hand, I look at it and say, well, that's not going to affect us, so who cares? I don't know that it's not. I mean, all those dominoes start falling, stuff starts, rolling. Who knows? But wouldn't that be a dream scenario, guys? I mean, honestly.
I mean,
what would you do? What would you do?
You'd have to consider it if you're DeBoer.
I think so.
If Penn State came calling, you'd have to consider it. And I don't think that's a reflection on any sort of SEC versus Big Ten situation. I just think replacing Nick Saban is a thankless job. Replacing any of those legends. I mean, look at what has gone on at North Carolina. Replacing Roy Williams has not exactly gone according to plan. We'll see how replacing John Calipari at Kentucky goes. It's off to a rocky start this year.
You know who would love for Kalen DeBoer to go to Penn State? Jimmy Sexton.
Oh,
that's who would love it.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, if he does, and I admit we're dreaming here for a second as we wrap up the show, but if he does, you would have Alabama, LSU, Florida, and Ole Miss vying for the services of one guy, and he's your client.
And by the way, Kalen DeBoer's agent?
Jimmy Sexton. Man, this guy, I mean, he runs college football.
He does.
He just runs college football.
Does.
I'm anxious to see what the day holds in terms of our job, the job at Arkansas. There's a lot of movement. It seemed anyway yesterday. There was movement on the internet. Let's just put it that way. In terms of what was about to happen, I still don't know exactly how all this timeline works with the holiday and with ball games going on this weekend. Ball games more than anything. All the people that have been mentioned, and I'm talking the guys at the end. The guys Thamel mentioned on ESPN Saturday, I think he was accurate in what he was saying. Silverfield plays Thursday night. Memphis plays Thursday night. The other guys play either Friday or Saturday. And I just find it difficult to believe that one of these guys is not going to coach their team this weekend. I just find that impossible to believe. But I also know that in the modern era of college football, you better not put anything in the impossible category, because anything can happen. Anything's already happened, it seems like. But my gut still tells me that we may know. I mean, it may be a poorly kept secret by the end of the week, but I think that we're still probably looking at the end of the week before, you really start the dog and pony show. You trot him out and you go to work. I don't know. It's an unprecedented time, uncharted waters, not just for us, but for lots of other people too. But I do know this. It's going to be an interesting week. Tomorrow we are going to talk a little basketball. I promise. We're going to get into basketball. Arkansas is playing Duke on Thanksgiving night in Chicago at the United Center. In a different time, that would be the center of conversation. This week, until this coaching search stuff is resolved, it takes a back seat. And I hate to say that, but it's just the truth. If you were to ask the average Razorback fan this morning, what's on your mind? Who's going to be the football coach is going to be the first thing that comes out of their mouths. And we're nearing the end. All right, we'll come back tomorrow. Try to do a better job. Hope you have a great day. Until tomorrow, thanks for listening.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal.